Today I'm going to show you how you can turn your old, blurry, noisy photos into crisp, clean, professional looking images. And to do this, you may be wondering, what is the best AI photo editor, or what is the best AI image editor online? My answer for that is Adobe Photoshop. Now, Adobe Photoshop, powered by Firefly AI, is the best AI photo editor for fixing noisy and blurry photos in 2026. So today I'm going to show you how it works, whilst also touching on a powerful new Firefly tool, which makes this even more powerful than before. Now, I want to mention that Adobe is sponsoring this video, and there's a link below if you want to check these tools out for yourself. But otherwise, let's get started. Now, Photoshop is Adobe's industry standard AI image editor, powered by Firefly, which is Adobe's commercially safe AI engine, and it has a powerful tool called Generative Fill. That's the first tool we're going to use to fix our noisy and blurry photos in this video. So I have this image here, and this is a great option if your images aren't of super high resolution. This one is about 1500 by 1500 pixels. All I need to do is hit Control A on my keyboard, or go to Select All to select the entire image. I then come down to Generative Fill, and I simply type in Denoise this photo. Now, it's very important that if I go to the drop down here, I do not use Firefly Fill and Expand, as I will get an error. But if I use Firefly Image 5, I can actually just give an instruction like this to it, hit Generate, and you can see it's done a great job at denoising this photo whilst maintaining the details. But I'm just going to zoom in, because the way it works is you'll get a layer here that sits above your original layer. So I can actually turn that off to see the original, very noisy, and the new, which is nice and sharp. Now, if you don't get the result you want using Firefly Image 5, I found it to be probably one of the most accurate models for denoising, is I can turn this layer off, go back to Image 1, hit Control A again to select the entire image. So you can see I have that box around the entire image. This time when I go to Generative Fill, I can type in the same prompt, and instead of using Firefly Image 5, I can come up to Partner and try one of the partner models. Now, before I go ahead, if you want to use some of these partner models, like the Gemini models or the Topaz Labs options, in Australia, you will need Creative Cloud Pro. But if you're on a smaller plan, like the Adobe Photography plan, then you won't have access to these partner models. But heading back, I recommend something like Nano Banana 2, which will show up as Gemini down here. I can then hit Generate, and then I have another option. Now, this handles detail and contrast a little differently than the Firefly model. It does seem to be a little bit sharper in some areas. However, Firefly, I believe, is more accurate to the original image. You can see how things are pretty much exact, whereas if I go with Nano Banana, it does seem to change the image slightly. So if you're looking for a more exact result, Firefly Image 5 is great, but if you want something a little crisper and you don't mind a little bit of movement or change in the photo, you can use Nano Banana 2. But keep in mind, once your image is done, if it is still a bit too small, you need to actually enlarge it for print, you can always come up to Image, Generative Upscale. I have here the Firefly Upscaler, and I can increase it by 2 up to 3000 by 3000. I can hit Upscale, and now I've increased the resolution of that image up to 3000 by 3000 pixels. But another good reason to use Firefly is because of its commercial safety. This is great for Australian creators, as Firefly is trained on Adobe stock and licensed content, which makes it commercially safe for professional use. Now, while we're working primarily with Firefly in Photoshop, a lot of these tools can be found on the Firefly platform on the Adobe website. So if you actually log in to Firefly with this particular process, you can come down to Edit Image, and we can follow that same process, but I'll try a slightly different image. I can come down here to Gemini 3.1. I can also switch to Firefly Image 5. I give it the same prompt, hit Generate, and it has denoised that photo. But what's also really cool is if I come over here, I can change the resolution from 1K to 2K, so I can actually bring the resolution up. But at the same time, what I'm going to do is, with this particular photo, and I can give the same prompt in Photoshop, I can just simply say, improve the contrast and color grading to make this photo look like professional photography. And again, as I said, we can pop that same prompt into Photoshop using Firefly Image 5, hit Generate, and side by side, you can see just how accurately it's kept the layout and all the details in the same place while greatly and vastly improving the image. And again, just like in Photoshop, we have the upscale option over here on the left, and it will maintain the same image we've just generated. And I can use the Firefly Upscaler to 2x it up to a much larger image resolution. And now we've been able to upscale that image. Now that I'm finished, if I want to download that image, I come up top here to the download button to download it to my computer. Now, generally speaking, if you have Adobe Photoshop and a Creative Cloud subscription, you'll have access to these online tools as well. But I do recommend researching the plans for more information. Now, if you're wondering how much does Adobe Photoshop cost in Australia, there are a few plans here. For instance, this one here starts at $30.99 a month for the photography plan, or there's just a straight Photoshop plan here, $35.99 a month. But if you want access to those partner models like Topaz and Gemini, you may want to go for Creative Cloud Pro. Now, I'll leave a link in the description below to check out the current pricing. But also, if you're not in Australia, the US prices start at about $20 US per month, or Creative Cloud Pro at the moment is currently $34.99 a month. But again, check the website for current pricing, but this is definitely a solid guideline. But let's jump back into Photoshop. But how do we fix blurry photos with AI? Just simply select the area you need. So I'll take this, go to Generative Fill. I'm going to switch back to Adobe Firefly Image 5, and I can give it a command like unblur and sharpen this photo so it looks like a professional photograph. I do find it helps to say unblur along with sharpen, but also give it some description of how you want it to look once it's done. So a professional photograph. So I hit generate. Now, as you can see, that photo looks a lot better, especially if we zoom in. This is what we've ended up with. We've gone from this to this pretty effectively. And again, you can try some of the other models if you want to experiment and try different results. Now, if the resolution is a bit of a limitation for you when using Generative Fill, later in the video, I've got another way that you can actually use Firefly right within Photoshop to increase the resolution of your edits. Another alternative is to go straight to Generative Upscale. So if I have this image here, now this is an image of nature or a scene. It doesn't work great with faces, but you get a little bit more oomph out of this process. If I come up, I can go to Image, Generative Upscale, and I can use the Firefly Upscaler, except that it tends to sort of hold on to some of that grain. So if I decide to switch down, I can go to something like Topaz Bloom, because it will actually kind of scan the image and regenerate a lot of that detail, which makes it great for scenery, but not so much for faces. And the higher the creativity, the cleaner it will actually be, but the more it will deviate from the original shot. So we can try somewhere in the middle. I'm going to bring it down to about 2x, and we'll actually double the size of our image and clean it up at the same time. So when I hit upscale, and what we get is placed into a new document at double the resolution, but it still has our original image here with the generation on a new layer. So that means once I check out the quality, which is pretty good, it's much improved over the original image. If I compare it, you can see how we've gone from something like this, which is pretty crazy, to this. So generative upscaling is a great way to take a photo of a scene or something that doesn't require exact accuracy, but it can still produce the same general look of the photo and increase the resolution at the same time. Just note that if your image is too high resolution, you will have to bring it down, and I usually aim for about 1500 pixels on the longest edge in order to get the best result. Now, I want to mention that when you're using these upscalers, Topaz Bloom is a great option for regenerating details and cleaning up your image as you're upscaling it. The Adobe Firefly Upscaler, it does a great job of retaining things like some of the grain and the detail. So if you're looking to keep a little bit of grain in your photo, that is also a great option. But sometimes if you have an image that doesn't look too bad, it just needs a little bit of work done to it, and it's low resolution, is that you can still come up to Image, Generative Upscale, and if you go from Topaz Bloom up to Topaz Gigapixel, it does a better job of retaining the detail as it regenerates less and tends to just improve the detail. So if I come down here, I can crank it up to 4x to get a much larger image. Keeping face recovery turned on, I hit upscale, and you can see how it's enhanced the entire image. But with the face recovery turned on, it does a great job of adding in the details to that face while keeping it true to the original image. But which upscaler should you choose? Well, Adobe Firefly, I think, is the best all-rounder where it keeps the detail the closest. It holds on to some of the grain, the detail, and does a great job. So for most images, that's going to be a good first stop. But if there's a lot of detail missing and you don't have a lot of faces in there, Topaz Bloom is a great way to sharpen things even further and add more detail, but it does change the image a little bit. So it's great for scenery and sort of outdoor shots, not so much for portraits. And if you need to take it to a whole new level and make the image even larger than what you can get out of the other two upscalers, then Topaz Gigapixel is the upscaler that can make your image the largest. So if you have very high resolution demands, then you might want to choose Topaz Gigapixel. Now, so far what we've covered is great if your images aren't super high resolution, but sometimes you have a photo that is quite high resolution and is just a bit noisy or blurry, but you don't want to actually have to shrink it down in order to clean it up. So I have another solution that'll help you with that also. Now, another good alternative is actually AI Denoise and AI Sharpen. So if I have this image here, now this image is actually quite high resolution. So I can't really operate at the same level because it still has a lot of resolution and detail there, but I still want to denoise it. So what I can do is come up to Filter, come down to AI Denoise, and it will just give us a little notification that we're going to use some of our partner credits here. I click Denoise, and it's completely cleared up the noise on that image, and it looks much better than before. Now, it's also worth considering that the noise can have an effect on the color, so it's always good to come up to Image, Adjustments, Curves, and try to fix that up. Hitting auto can get a lot of work done, but it's always good to adjust things a little bit more yourself. Hit OK, and you've got a vastly different image than what you started with. Now, this video focuses a lot on AI, so I've popped it onto my main AI channel. But if you're looking for more insights on how to use Photoshop and the various tools within it, I actually have a fully dedicated new Photoshop channel called Photoshop Impact. So check that out with a link in the description below if you want to learn more about Photoshop. But otherwise, let's keep going with these AI tools. And again, if you have a blurry photo that is just a little bit out of focus, the same area, we go to Filter, AI Sharpen, and again, it'll let you know that it's going to use up some of your partner credits. We hit Sharpen, and you see it's done a great job of sharpening up some of the areas of the face. We compare it to the original, we see how noisy and blurry that is. So Sharpen is another great tool just for improving the quality of your photos with a single click. Now, just remember, if you're using credits and you want to know how many you have left, head up the top right here. You can see where my face is. You'll have an avatar up there as well. Click on that, and it will give you some information about your account. Come down and you'll see how many credits you have left. Now, what I've covered here is a bit of a blanket approach. We pop our images in, we use a tool, and we fix the entire image. But sometimes some of the images are already looking pretty good, and we are using Photoshop here. So what we can do is focus on certain areas and use some creative editing to combine and stack some of these tools together. You can actually quite often grab a selection. So if I grab my lasso tool and simply draw around this guy here, I can still use Generative Fill and Firefly Image 5 and just simply ask it to unblur and sharpen the face of the man, hit generate, and just affect that one portion of the image while keeping everything else exactly the same. And if I have two different generations and I can't decide which one I want to keep, I can keep them both and just simply select the areas I want to keep from one and just simply add in a mask and then blend in those features I want to keep from one image to the other. So now I have crystal clear skin from the Nano Banana generation, but I can keep the eye looking like the woman's actual eye that was upscaled with Firefly. So think about these things when using Photoshop. It's not just a one-click solution. You have more options you can work with. Now, I mentioned earlier that there is a new Firefly tool baked right into Photoshop that allows us to basically fix some of these resolution issues and also do a lot more with these AI tools. It's the Firefly workspace that is now available in Photoshop, and it's a lot like the online browser version. And I'll show you how you can use it. Another tip is that if you're using AI, you can add several instructions to one prompt. But before I show you how that works, this image here, if I come up to image and image size, you'll see it's 6,000 by 4,000 pixels, which makes it quite large. So what I can do is actually work at a much larger size by coming to home up here and then coming down to the Firefly workspace. And this acts a lot like Firefly on the web, except it's all entirely within Photoshop, and I can drag that same photo in. And then once it's in, I have access to all these tools over here on the left. However, I do want to mention that Precision Flow is in beta, which means these beta features can change or disappear. So this is here for now. It is still in beta and may disappear in the future. But once our image is actually in, and I can choose my image model here. So I have GPT Image 2 and a few other image models. So I can come to, say, Nano Banana 2, and I can actually up that resolution to 4K. Which isn't the full resolution of the photo, but is definitely much larger, because what we can do now is say, remove the glass reflections in front of the girl, sharpen up this image, and make it look like a professional photograph. So we can actually stack some of our instructions into one single prompt We can even change the aspect ratio here if we want to. I'm going to leave it on auto so we match our source image, and we'll tell you exactly how many credits you're going to use. So now I hit generate, and what we get is vastly different from our original photo. If I click down here, I can compare the two. So with one prompt, I've really clarified this image. Now, if I want to actually take that into Photoshop, I can hit up the right here and open in editor. And we have a complete 4K generation. So it's added a lot of details. It's actually even kind of upscaled this image. So if I bring in the original, you can see how it's a little bit fuzzy, but the new one is nice and sharp. So that shows you how you can actually make high quality, high resolution changes right within Photoshop using their AI. But if I come back to home up the top left here, I have all these other tools here I can use as well. I can use markup. So I can even say something like, grab a text box and say, remove this cabinet, and it will appear there. I can also click on this window, make the window bigger, and even another one over here saying, completely unblur the background and bring it into focus. So again, we can unblur the background, make the window bigger. We can make changes to our scene and improve our photo. I'm going to hit generate again, and you can see how it's completely unblurred the background, made the window bigger, and removed that cabinet. But to conclude this video, my recommendation is this. If you're an individual signing up for one of the basic Photoshop plans, leaning heavily on that Firefly model is going to get most of those jobs done for you. But if you are a professional photographer or photo editor, I recommend going for Creative Cloud Pro so that you can use that Firefly model to keep things accurate, but you also have things like Nano Banana 2 and Gemini to back that up for when you don't get the results that you really need using Firefly. It's always good to have a couple to choose from. But the thing I like about Firefly in particular is that accuracy. The fact that it tends to deviate a lot less from the original image when you're doing things like denoising and sharpening. So if you need something to be pretty much exactly the way it was photographed, but with that improvement in quality, I do think it is the best model for that. But having those other models is a great fallback. I highly recommend if you haven't tried out these tools yet, a link to try Adobe Photoshop for free is in the description below. This means it costs you absolutely nothing to try this out for yourself. I've been using Photoshop for over 20 years. I swear by it. I used it in my job and I could not imagine a day without it. So check that out. The link in the description below. But otherwise, that is the video for today, guys. And I hope you found it useful. And if you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon and have a great day.